Бажаю здоров'я, шановні українці, українки. Сьогодні весь день.
I wish you good health, dear Ukrainians. Today, at the address of the Prime Minister, Yulia Sviridenko, the Minister of Energy denies Shmygal. The restoration work is underway after the Russian strikes. Every night, unfortunately, new investments are being established. For Russia, our energy has not changed. In fact, almost 58,000 people work all day long, and only in repair brigades on power grids and generating facilities on the thermal grid. Resources of Ukrzaliznytsia and other state companies are involved. For Kyiv, where the situation is very difficult, additional 50 brigades from all over the country are involved. There are also houses that are without heating, and for them, in fact, necessary equipment. Necessary brigades are sent to each house manually. It is also difficult in Kyiv region, especially in the northern part of the region, as well as in the Boryspil region, as well as in the border and front regions, where the repair of networks and repair of facilities is made through, in fact, constant shelling, constant strikes. This is Kharkiv, Chernihiv region, Sumy region, Dnipro region, Zaporizhia. A special attention to this region. There was a lot of work in Poltava and Odessa to stabilize the situation in the energy sector. I want to thank all the brigades that work, energy companies, all of them, both state and private, all the heads of cities and communities who really help us with their people. A decision is now being made to increase the import of electricity. I want to thank the partners who fulfill our agreements on the supply of the necessary resources, equipment, and equipment. In particular, these days our agreements with Italy began to be implemented. We talked about this with George Mellon. Now there are packages of support, and this is a very important thing. Very important equipment is imported to Ukraine. I also want to mention the team of our oil and gas. There have been strikes on companies' facilities in different regions all week. The last one was on gas production. This strike was yesterday. It is very important that both private and Ukrainian companies work together with the government, together with the state system, in order to add resilience to the country. This is exactly what is needed for everyone to work together, everyone in the team of Ukraine. There were today's statements of our delegation from America. Rustem Umerov spoke at meetings with representatives of President Trump. There have already been several rounds of negotiations. They are working on the documents needed to end the war. It is important that the Ukrainian team fully informs the American side about what is happening in Ukraine and about the constant Russian strikes on our energy system. If the Russians really wanted to end the war, they would focus on diplomacy, not missile attacks, not blackouts, and would try to damage our nuclear power plants. We have data on the objects that Russia used for reconnaissance for strikes. All this clearly indicates that diplomacy is definitely not a priority for Russia. This must be recognized. We must continue to pressure the aggressor and the real cause of this war. The cause is Moscow. We will work this week for such a new pressure and a clear position of the world on Russia. I also want to note our soldiers today. Despite everything, despite the harsh weather and constant Russian assaults, our results are better in protecting our positions. It is important that on many fronts, our soldiers do exactly what is needed for Ukraine. I thank you all, guys. Thank you very much. Also the Kharkiv region. 127th Heavy Mechanized Brigade. Thank you very much. Pokrovsky direction. Our 25th Airborne Brigade and our units of 425th Separate Assault Regiment. Thank you, Sumy region. 71st Jaeger Brigade, well done. Okarentinsky direction. Warriors of the 14th Operational Brigade of the National Guard of Chervona Kalina and the 25th Separate Assault Battalion. Well done. And our positions on the Urikov direction. 128th Mountain Assault Brigade. Thank you, warriors. Glory to everyone who fights for the sake of Ukraine, as for the sake of yourself. I thank everyone who works so that our Ukraine lives. Glory to Ukraine.